You know, some days you just feel the weight of the city pressing down on you. The concrete, the noise, the sheer relentless need for coffee. That morning at Chicago's Union Grand Terminal, it was one of those days. See, that's the thing about being K9. It's supposed to be routine, but you're always just a breath away from chaos. I'm Officer Ethan Vance, and after 20 years on the force, I was running on fumes and a growing sense of cynicism. I was already planning my retirement papers, thinking maybe it was time to let the young guys handle the relentless grind. My partner, Justice, a Belgian Malinois, didn't share my burnout. That dog is a machine built on pure focus. Golden black fur, ears like twin antennae, and eyes that see through the BS of a crowded terminal. Justice doesn't miss anything. We were weaving through the commuter tidal wave, the usual blur of briefcases and rolling luggage, the train announcements echoing off those ridiculously high marble ceilings, and I was just sweeping the crowd, trying to look alert. Then, Justice froze. It wasn't a hard stop, not the explosive lunge for narcotics, or the tense crouch for a volatile explosive. It was a pinpoint freeze, the kind that makes the hair stand up on your arms, because you know it's purely instinctual. His focus narrowed on a woman near the ticket counter. She was the picture of understated wealth, tailored blue trench coat, expensive leather bag, perfectly composed. Let's call her Alara Thorne. She looked like she was rushing to catch a first-class flight to Geneva. At her side were 3 kids, and the youngest, a little girl, maybe 7 with light brown hair, was clutching the back of Alara's coat. "What is it, buddy?" I whispered, pulling the leash taut. Justice just vibrated, his eyes locked on the girl, and that's when I saw it. The smallest, most subtle movement that 9 out of 10 people would dismiss as a fidget. The girl's hand, pressed against the thick wool of Alara's back, tapped a quick pattern. 5 rapid taps, a pause, and then 5 more. She did it again, almost like a silent, frantic drummer. No one noticed. Not the mother, not the tourists snapping photos, just Justice. He knew that wasn't random. His training is deep, extending beyond scent to recognizing coded distress signals, a silent language victims sometimes use. He saw the terror in her eyes, the way her small shoulders trembled despite the coat. That girl, let's call her Anya, was talking without sound, screaming a message only a creature tuned to pure instinct could intercept. Justice broke rank. He lunged, pulling me forward with a force that almost jarred my arm out of its socket. I dug my heels in. "Justice, heel! What are you doing?" I barked, but the command meant nothing. His purpose had overridden his protocol. He dragged me right into the path of Alara and the children. Alara turned, her face a mask of annoyed composure that didn't quite reach her eyes. They were too bright, too cold. "Officer, is there a problem?" Her voice was smooth, like polished ice. "Your dog is quite aggressive." I tried to apologize, to smooth things over, but Justice was standing firm, low growling, not at her but at the bag, and then back at Anya. It was a conversation, a silent exchange that bypassed me entirely. Anya looked up, and in that fleeting second, she mouthed 2 words. "Help us." The air thickened. You could feel the dozens of eyes on us. My gut twisted. This wasn't some false alarm from a stray squirrel. This was real. This was the kind of moment they make movies about, except it was my life, and I was standing on a razor's edge. Do I trust 20 years of rigid police procedure? Or do I trust the 6-year-old Malinois vibrating with righteous fury next to me? I let go of the leash slightly. "Ma'am?" I said, my voice hardening, shedding the pretense of routine. "I need you to stop right there. My partner is alerted to something and we have to clear it." Alara's mask cracked. The composure evaporated, replaced by raw panic. "You have no right. We are catching a train. This is harassment." She spat, and in a single desperate blur she turned and shoved Anya behind her, trying to lose herself in the thickening crowd near the platform gates. "Rex! Go!" I screamed, using his old training name, knowing I was crossing a line that might cost me my badge. The result was cinematic. Justice didn't attack. He executed a textbook block. He surged forward like a shadow, positioning his body, 100 pounds of coiled muscle and loyalty, directly in front of her path. His bark wasn't a threat to her, it was a command to stop. It reverberated through the terminal, silencing the crowd instantly. Ilara froze. Her eyes were wide with a horrible realization. She was caught. Her attempt at a graceful exit had failed, blocked by a dog that heard a whisper no human could. "Put the bag down, Ilara," I said, now using the name the girl had accidentally let slip in her distress. "Let's end this cleanly." She was trembling, the fake indignation gone, replaced by a hollow terror that finally matched Anya's. I signaled for backup, but I kept my focus on her hands. I could feel the electricity of the crowd, the recording phones, the whispers. It didn't matter. Only the little girl mattered. She slowly lowered the expensive leather bag onto the inspection table. "There's nothing illegal," she mumbled, eyes darting everywhere but mine. "It's just clothes, toys, travel documents." As the backup officer unzipped the main compartment, Justice's focus shifted dramatically. He ignored the clothes. He ignored the iPad. He put his nose right to the hidden zipper of the bottom compartment and gave a low, insistent whine. I reached in. It wasn't weapons or drugs. It was paper. Lots of paper. I pulled out a stack of documents, 3 separate passports, all the same woman, different names. Ilara Thorne, Diana Vance, Sarah Bell. Then, a small manila envelope, unmarked. Inside were grainy, low-quality photos. Close-ups of children taken from a distance, surveillance photos, not family snapshots. 5 of them. "All different ages, ma'am," I said, my voice dangerously level. "The jig is up. Who are you really, and where are the other kids?" Anya, seeing the photos, finally broke her silence. Her voice was small, but it cut through the chaos like glass. She said we were going to see my dad. "But those kids, they went with her before?" "They never came back." My blood ran cold. The backup officer quietly confirmed the prints. This wasn't Ilara Thorne. Her name was Silvana Cross, wanted in 3 states for operating a recruitment and transport cell for a larger trafficking ring. The little taps, the coded signal, the instinct of the dog, it had all been validated in the most brutal way possible. I looked down at Justice, who sat perfectly still, his eyes soft but resolute. "You were right, partner," I murmured, my hand resting on his massive head. The deep cynicism I'd felt all morning vanished, replaced by a sharp, burning sense of purpose. The whole terminal was sealed off. Within the hour, we had intel from Silvana's phone, a coded rendezvous point, an abandoned packaging warehouse in the South Side Industrial District. The sun had set, and the area was pitch black, full of shadows and broken glass. Sirens were silent. We were moving low, fast, and quiet. This was Justice's domain. I released his lead. "Find them, boy. Find the others." He moved like liquid shadow, low to the ground, sniffing the stale air, not looking for scent, but for the chemical trace of human fear and distress. Suddenly he froze by a metal loading door. A low growl, an undeniable signal. We hit the door hard. Inside, under a single bare bulb, were 5 children huddled together, terrified, but safe. They were thin, shivering, but alive. The overwhelming relief of that moment, seeing the light return to their eyes, is something I will never forget. But as the rescue team moved in, we heard it. A grinding engine starting up in the back lot. Another partner, another link in the chain was cutting and running. "No, you don't," I yelled, unsnapping Justice's collar fully. "Go, Justice, go!" That dog was gone. He became a streak of golden-black lightning tearing across the gravel. The black SUV roared to life, but Justice was faster. He closed the gap in seconds, a blur of focus and fury. I sprinted behind him, adrenaline burning through the exhaustion. Just as the SUV tried to swing onto the main road, Justice leaped, his jaws clamping down not on the tire, but on the driver's thick leather glove through the open window. The driver screamed, wrenching the wheel. The SUV fishtailed, slammed into a steel fence, and died with a hiss of steam. I was on him in 2 seconds, cuffing the driver, a local muscle named Taggart, before he knew what hit him. Taggart sneered, "You think this stops anything? You just cut off one snakehead, officer. There are 1,000 more." I looked at Justice, his chest heaving, his growl low and steady, standing over the defeated man. "Maybe," I replied, my voice hoarse, "but you won't touch another child tonight." Dawn broke over the city, clean and quiet, washing away the shadows of the night. Anya was reunited with her parents, a chaotic, beautiful mess of tears and unconditional love. Watching that embrace, my 20 years of cynicism just melted away. Anya walked over to me, looking up at Justice. She didn't flinch, she didn't cry. She just held out her small hand, which was clutching something shiny. Justice's old scratched K9 ID tag. I must have given it to her mother in the chaos. He heard me, she whispered, her voice clear. When everyone else was too busy, he heard my code. Justice lowered his big head, resting it gently against her small shoulder. He didn't need words. He knew. I often think about that moment, about how close I was to giving up, to retiring out of pure, exhausted apathy. If I had dismissed Justice's instinct, if I had prioritized procedure over that silent 5-tap plea, those 6 children would have been gone forever. And I would have walked away from the one thing that gives my life meaning, the absolute, unshakable loyalty of a partner who sees the truth I can't. So, here's the question for you. Taggart said we only cut off one snakehead, that the system is bigger than any one cop and any one dog. Do you agree? Is fighting these huge dark networks a lost cause? Or is every single rescue, every single Anya who gets to go home, worth defying the rulebook? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Drop a like and share this story if you believe that sometimes the purest form of justice walks on 4 paws.